The Battle of Dettingen, known in German as Die Schlacht bei Dettingen, was fought on the 27th of June 1743 in the Electorate of Mainz in the Holy Roman Empire. In the modern era, the battlefield lies in Karlstein am Main, Bavaria. This battle is of particular note as it was the last time that a reigning British monarch, George II, personally led troops into battle. This battle was part of the wider War of Austrian Succession, fought between 1740 and 1748, following the sudden death of Emperor Charles VI. His daughter, Maria Theresia, was supported not only by Austrian soldiers, but also British, Hanoverian and Hessian troops. Later, they were reinforced by an auxiliary corps provided by the ostensibly neutral Dutch Republic. This coalition was known collectively as the Pragmatic Army. This coalition faced off against the Bavarian Elector Charles Albert, supported by Spain, France, Saxony, Savoy-Piedmont and for a brief period, Prussia. In the battle itself, the Pragmatic Army numbered approximately 60,000 strong, facing approximately 70,000 French men of all arms under the command of Duke de Noailles. The French were also in a far superior tactical position, with the Pragmatic Army virtually surrounded. The right flank of the Pragmatic Army to the north consisted of the forested and hilly mounds of the Spessart Heights, and to the left, the River Main. This left the Pragmatic Army with no choice but to attempt to break through the centre of the battlefield. However, blocking their way were some 30,000 French troops under the Duc de Gramont, lying in wait behind a marshy stream known as the Forbach. Despite strict orders to maintain his advantageous position, Gramont, upon seeing the British forming up for an engagement, ordered his 30,000 cuirassiers, dragoons and foot soldiers to attack and destroy George's army before they had chance to fully deploy. The beginning of this battle was not without its humour. The proud Maison de Roy, the French Royal Household Cavalry, proceeded to indulge in a form of caracole in front of both armies, evoking jeers and catcalls, as well as a peppering of musketry from the front line of British redcoats. This sudden crackle of musket fire startled King George's horse, sending it galloping to the rear, leaving the king purple-faced and shouting German profanities in the poor creature's direction. The British troops let out a great cheer as their leader came trudging back on foot, vowing that at least he could trust his own legs to take him in the right direction. For nearly half an hour, the British redcoats in the centre managed to hold off 3 consecutive French infantry attacks. However, Gramont ordered 9 squadrons of cuirassiers to gallop upon the British left wing, wreaking havoc among the foot soldiers and nearly annihilating 2 weak squadrons of dragoons as they charged again and again until nearly 2/3 of their men and horses lay dead or injured. This would have surely led to the collapse of the entire left wing, were it not for a countercharge by a brigade of British cavalry, including Ligonier's horse. However, while the British lines were able to hold, the failure of elements of this charge resulted in the surrounding of Ligonier's horse, who resultantly had to fight their way out in order to avoid annihilation. Despite the failings of this initial charge and the disordered withdrawal, the British cavalry were able to rally behind the lines and managed to charge once more. This final charge broke the French lines and resulted in their headlong retreat as George ordered a general advance. The disorderly French retreat resulted in chaos amongst the French ranks, and many drowned attempting to swim over the Main. During this entire engagement, Noailles remained a mute spectator with 20,000 fresh troops in a safe position. The French army suffered 8,000 all ranks, killed and wounded, while the Pragmatic Army lost no more than 2,500. In the middle of the melee following the charge of the British cavalry was Cornet Henry Richardson of Ligonier's horse. A cornet's job is to defend the standard of the regiment. Standards were important to warfare in this period as they allowed the battlefield commander to decipher where his troops were, and they also acted as a rallying point during battles. Seizing an enemy standard also had a massive effect on the morale of his forces. As the protector of Colonel Ligonier's personal standard, Richardson, who was only around 17 at this point, received 37 different wounds from both sword slashes and musket shots in his defence. However, he refused to succumb and allow the standard to be taken. In honour of his bravery, when the regiment received new standards in the winter of 1743, Cornet Richardson was presented with this very standard that he had fought so bravely to protect. Henry Richardson remained with the army until his retirement in 1762 with the rank of lieutenant colonel. He died in 1794 and was around 69 years old. Following in his footsteps, his ancestors fought in the British Army during both World Wars.